It is 7 p.m. on the 11th day of November, 2025. As presiding officer, I hereby call this regular meeting of the Vernonia Rural Fire Protection Board of Directors to order. Please note this meeting is being recorded. Public comments will be accepted during the public comment section of the agenda. All rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any additions to the agenda? Members present. Ben George. Steve Miller.
Don Potter.
And Neil Kennedy. Staff present.
Fire Chief Greg Brody.
Board Secretary Charlotte Henry.
Is everybody else signed in?
Yeah, Lieutenant Carter.
I didn't see a sign sheet.
Approval of minutes from last month. Everyone had a chance to read them over. Does anybody have any comment, question? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Just don't together. I just was like, oh, no, that's not.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from 10/14/2025.
I'll second.
Is it Amy?
Yes.
James?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Dawn?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
And it's a unanimous approval. And newsletter.
We ended up not doing an article, our quarterly article in October because they had too much already for their newspaper last month. So they asked we push it out to the November article and that will come out next week.
Yeah, I sent, it was drawn to my attention by our wonderful Mr. Budget Hawk over there that we are going to be paying off our water tender bond probably this month or next month, right?
That's February.
Oh, sorry, soon. And because there was some, we'll call it some accounting errors made in several years prior to this, there was actually more money placed into the bond account and it's going to be required upon our final payment. So we're gonna have leftover money in that bond account. And so we were scratching our heads going, well, what are we legally allowed to do with that money? So I reached out to SDAO and I spoke to their director of advisory services. And the question I asked him, I said, well, did SDAO service this bond yet? Because we could not find any paperwork on it. And he replied back, SDAO did not facilitate the district's bond in 2015, but I did when I was with the previous employer. So in answer into our question, we think the number was around $10,000.
10 to 20-ish, it's hard to project, but
There's gonna be some extra money in that account when we pay off the final payment in February. And we were, what can we legally do with that money? And legally speaking, we are allowed to transfer that money back into our general fund. They do advise us to leave it open because leave the account open because we may get some uncollected taxes revenue that was specific, but we'll leave a couple $100 in there. But I didn't want to illegally transfer funds to our general fund, not knowing if we were legally allowed to do that. It was general fund money at one point. They got moved to the bond account, but we're gonna be able to put that money back to the general fund when that happens. So that was good from FDA, that's only correspondence. So we have some mistaken cards here.
One, let me get those around. So we have treasurer's report and checks to be signed.
2 checks to be signed. One is for our staff insurance and the other one is reimbursement for an officer's cost that went for vehicle. You will not see the reimbursement for mine on your reports that I printed up this morning, but I will handwrite that in all of your guys' books.
It's in mine.
Perfect. Yeah, blank ones, and then we get on to, patients to see, if they have, or their family members. If you have a good experience with us, we
Or
only
bad.
share, so they send them back, we even stamp them, so they just send them back to us. Understand?
It makes a little bit around.
Is your dental plan? Does it work pretty well or does it give you guys much?
I'm on my own, guys.
I haven't.
Or either.
I've been very lean.
You guys Delta General?
Yeah.
Okay, I have, it's the same plan I have, and it works.
Good.
Like $1,500 a year, you get it, and it pays for like 50% of grounds and things.
Yeah, it's-
Was there a motion to pay the bills?
No, not yet.
I will take one. As long as nobody has any issues with the treasurer's report.
No, I would make a motion that we pay bills.
Here a second. I'm sorry.
I will second.
Thank you.
I do have a question for the board regarding the treasury report. Would you guys like to see, that coming in? It's deposit, sometimes we get, reimbursement checks, sometimes we get a monthly check from Metro West for the building. Would you guys like to see that? I can.
Yeah, we can understand. Yeah,
Okay.
Business track, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
James? Steve? Come
Aye.
Amy? Chief's report when it comes back.
Yeah, well, something, it's part of this, but anyway, okay. Okay, so we'll get into it. On the operations side, we have a total calls from service in October of 62 calls. That brings us up to 551 calls for the year, as opposed to 2024 at 534. So we're starting to spread out and get a little ahead of from last year's time. Fortunately, no major issues with any of our equipment. The only real interesting call we had last month was a residential fire on Noakes Road, up in Noakes Road. There was a problem with the gas range in the kitchen. Homeowners used an extinguisher. I can't talk today. Extinguisher before we got there and knocked it down real good. So there wasn't a lot of work for us there, but that was it for that. Training, our training topics last month were salvage and overhaul. We had a life flight demonstration and we went over ropes and knots. Also, we sent Lieutenant Tannery, Lieutenant Abney to a officer development class in Eugene last weekend. Monday, Tuesday. And they came back and reported to be an excellent class. In fact, they want to go more. So we'll try to make that happen. So we had 87 hours of training. It's a little bit on the low side for us. We got the Columbus Day where we missed a drill day and World Series. People were showing up for drill. Upcoming training, we got vehicle electrification, we got forceful entry, we got more EMS, ventilation drills, hose, and of course, when we get our new SCBAs, we'll be training those things. On the administrative side, I won't tell you the whole thing, but we had 81 hours of donated time by our volunteers last month. Always appreciate that. Our summer staffing grant was completed on October 31st. Speaking with the duty crews, I got nothing but excellent feedback. The way we did it this year was we actually had a pool of people that signed up for days. It seemed to be very good. It does two things. It gives us a larger pool to draw upon, and it also gives some more volunteers exposure to actually see what it's like to work around shift, get more calls, things like that. Which will give them more experience should they get more coming around. So I think we'll be looking at doing that again next year. Same type of program. We got the initial preliminary report back in our audit. She says it looks good. There was a couple minor discrepancies that she wanted to clean up. One of those will be taken care of tonight during new business. But overall, looks good. She said she quote unquote should be available for us next year. But we might be able to do it at a reduced cost because we're so clean for her this year that we might be able to send most of our stuff electronically to her home, but she doesn't have to fly up here from California. So might save some money on that thing. Is there somebody here?
No, we lost them. They were here. They're gone.
Okay. All right. So we were very excited to host our Women in Fire seminar here on October 16th. We had women from Columbia, class from Washington counties here in this room. And for those who saw the Vernonia Voice, we had a wonderful article put out about that. Very, very well attended. And I think we have established kind of a foothold in the concept of women in the service, which we fully support and appreciate. And in fact, promote that kind of stuff. So very good to see that. We're happy that we had that out there. We had Ocean in here for a consult. We invited them in. This kind of let them know that we're here to learn and see what we can do better. They received our report. There were some we'll call minor things that they found, which we expected them to find. Nothing of an urgent nature. Nothing he said, fix this now or I'm going to jail. And we are probably 65-70% completed what he's asked us to complete. Nice. He plans on coming back again here in January to consult with us again, and actually said he will come back every 3 months or so to do this. He is specializes in fire stations, so he knows his business. Good guy, very helpful. Ellen Curtis has been selected as our vendor to purchase the MSA SCBAs. This will be under a sole source contract using a company called Sourcewell. We evaluated MSA Scott and Draeger models, and unanimous support was for the MSAs. So again, also an action item tonight that I'll be asking you guys permission to sign the contract to purchase these from Ellen Curtis. Ellen Curtis is aware, the whole country is aware that we haven't been able to contact anybody from the federal government for the past 39 days or whatever it's been, 41 days, to find out how we do this and when things are going to be up and running again. And so I said, there's a good chance I'm going to sign a contract with no idea of how we're going to pay you. And they said, everybody else in the country is the same way. It's not a problem. The other people are saying you're getting the grant, so they'll just move forward with us. They also have given us loaner SCBAs until we get our new ones in. And so what it kind of does, it moves us towards the front of the line because they want to get their loaner packs out so they can get them out to other people. So we got 8 loaner SCBAs from Ellen Curtis and MSA to provide these to get us going, keep us going through this time. In addition, my public thanks to Columbia River Fire and Rescue and Scappoose Fire, which loaned us some spare SCBA bottles that we have here as well. So we got that taken care of. Sea Western collected theirs. So we had 5 personnel in attendance at former Fire Chief Don Webb's memorial service. We presented on behalf of the fire district a flag in a flag case shadow box. I had the distinct honor of Webb. And she was very, very grateful. She came by here last week and said hello and made a small donation to our volunteer association. And so it was good, and we were very proud and honored to be part of that. Kudos, my hats off to Steve for kind of facilitating that memorial service. He did a great job. So OFDDA conference is this Thursday through Saturday. I will be having to check you in, so you need to coordinate what time you plan on being down there so I can get you checked into your room.
Okay.
And you've got your own room, but you're not coming until Thursday
Thursday
morning.
morning.
Do you guys have a copy of the conference schedule and all that? Do you guys print one off and have that?
I have it electronically.
Okay,
Yeah, I do too.
okay. So, I will be down there Wednesday evening and, we'll be, we'll have a conference. So, I told you all last month that one thing identified, we did not have an EAP program for our employees. That has since been rectified. We are now have an EAP program. Paid $450 our subscription for that. So glad to have that on board. I talked about the class that we took, and that is all I have for teacher.
Only correction I have for you, that's not this Thursday, right? It's next week, correct?
Nope.
Yes.
The week of the
Is it next
20th,
week?
the week of the 20th.
If it's this week, I'm in trouble. I have a granddaughter, her grandma and grandpa.
Yeah, it is the,
Week of the 20th.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
20th.
Okay,
Thursday the 20th, sorry.
okay.
Thank you.
That would make sense. No, we're going today, so that wouldn't work. All right, old business. Board policies?
Board policies, that's what I went to look for. So I printed off all the policies from the lexical platform, which I updated. I printed them off today and I can't figure out where they went because I was gonna put them in the book, but they are ready to be placed in the book. I'm gonna be straightforward with this board. Those who are new to the board, last year I made the recommendation to the board that we switch to electronic policy manual, which is what everybody's really going to. However, I'm gonna tell you that I'm going to make the recommendation that we do not continue with it the next year. The simple reason is it's majorly time consuming for me to type out these policies, submit them, upload them. It's very non-user friendly. That's why I printed out everything that we have approved as policy. They're gonna go into our existing policy books and we're just gonna do old school. If we had the ability for us to hire somebody to, like an HR person, to be able to do this, that'd be great. We just have, I would not get any attention much too long, and I would not be effective in many of the things I need to do. So, we'll continue to use them until June, but we're gonna probably not re-up them next year. I own it, I thought it worked, so. That's, okay, what's next? Strategic plan.
I think we're still tabled, are we not? Or-
Yes, we are, because we're gonna table that based upon what we do with our levy request.
Exactly.
Yes,
So that will continue staying tabled at this time.
thank you.
And then the levy proposal.
All in place. I've had some conversations with people at this very table about forming a political action committee. And we will move forward with that. My plan is to have the kind of the political action committee in place by the end of this year or so. And I will seek out some donations from various organizations to contribute to this. And this will allow us to do mailers, put up signs, T-shirts, hats, key rings, keychains, I don't know. But allow us to do this sort of stuff and to get the word out. I don't want to start now because I think the message will get stale.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that we start ramping up, say, late February, March, April, till voting in May. And we have a bunch of things that we've talked about and planned, but that's kind of where we're at with that.
Okay. New business. Election prerequisites.
So I asked for this to be brought up for two things. One is we've had a candidate now be elected twice in 2 election cycles. That's telling me that the community wants this person there. Not only does the community want them, the community, we have firefighters that have served a long time here and then have left, can't commit to fire itself, but they're still willing to be a part as a board member or whatever. And I just think having their knowledge coming from the department to the board helps out with, I mean, we have a historian here. I mean, come on, you know, I just think it would be, everybody here knows that the board cannot go after one single person in this department. It's one against the law and it would never go. It would take everybody here to make that happen. So I think it should go back to how it was before, you know, live in the district or own property in the district, registered voter in the county.
I'm not following.
So
So,
5-year,
oh, okay, the prohibition.
yeah. I mean, because let's say Loomis, you know, he just quit. But the community wants him on the board and they just keep electing him. I mean, it gives us more opportunity with more people that have knowledge to the fire service and to this district because, you know, they've served a long time. We already have one candidate that's been elected twice in
So are you looking to drop the
5-year.
altogether?
Yes.
Not a modification? So drop.
Can I make a clarification? That is, we would maintain the policy that current volunteers can now also be board members. Is that correct?
You can't be you can't be a board member when you're a volunteer. You have to physically.
That, because there's two separate policies on there. One says you can't be an active volunteer and a board member, and then we also have the one that says you cannot be a board member at all.
Yeah, no, it's still, if you're an active volunteer, you have to resign from the
One or the
department,
two. Yeah.
from the department to be a board member.
Okay.
I just think it leaves us vulnerable if the community keeps wanting certain people and we just keep telling them no.
I do have one question of concern. And let's say we lose a volunteer for tough reasons. They had to be dismissed.
For cause.
Yes, for cause. And then that individual decides to go out and run for a position for the board of directors. And us, as well as people within, knowing full well that there could be a hidden agenda as to why that person wants to get on. My question would be is what does the ethics commission say in regards to something like that? As far as an individual in legality, what could we or could not potentially? That's just a
I
question.
mean, let's say I had it out for chief right now. He can do whatever and I can constantly fight with him, but it takes all of us to make something happen. I just can't go after him. And I mean, if I did, I mean, he could call the ethics and be like, hey, this guy's harassing me. I
And
mean,
we actually had that happen where we had a volunteer that was, I don't know the specifics, so I'm not gonna get in trouble or whatever, but they left and it wasn't a good situation. But got on the board for the fact that they wanted to come after the chief. Realized they're only one voice, but they got voted on, you know, they were elected. And then eventually was like, well, this sucks. So,
I do believe there are statutes that if you, as a citizen, and you want to run for public office, if you have a felony charge, found guilty, I think there are some things that can negate you from being able to legally run for office. But that's a pretty serious, that's a pretty serious.
that would go to the election committee.
right.
And that would be their determination.
Mhm. So I'm just saying
Because
that
it's
as
like,
a
you know,
possibility.
so they have to look at all of our prerequisites before they even call and be like, hey, you got elected. Whether you know it or not, I mean.
Well, I agree with you that past history, wisdom, knowledge, skills is valuable to the board of directors or to the district if you get people that are willing to put the time and energy into, and that's their sole purpose, they're coming to the board. And that would be my biggest hope is that whoever it is, that's that is. I have no idea who you're referring to, but
No, just
yeah.
in general, you know what I mean? I mean, there are people that are willing to step up. I mean, if you go downtown right now and they're like, hey, you want to be on the fire board? They're probably like, we have a fire board? And or no? I mean, they don't know.
That's a good thing, Bill.
You know, so like-
That's a good thing.
You know, like if there's nobody that is physically on the ballot, I mean, nobody's really gonna write it in unless you say, hey, vote for James George.
So you guys are saying that right now, they have to be
Separated.
away from here for 5 years
Yes.
before they can do it. Instead of doing the 5 years thing, why don't you do like a 1 year thing where there's kind of a cooling off period? If you have
So that's
something-
what I asked about, a modification of the. term.
Yeah, because if you do a 1 year, then whoever that is, it's really torqued about whatever, they may just after a year,
Give it up.
I'm done, you know, type of a thing, and you may have a little bit better chance of. But I do agree that 5 years is way much.
No, and you know, I'm able to negotiate. I just, like I said, I mean, there's people that are willing to step up to this position and we're telling them, no, you have to wait 5 years. 5 years, you don't know if they're here, they're gone, they just
Right.
don't care about the department no more. I mean,
Well, at my age, if you make me wait 5 years, I might be pushing daisies.
We miss out. So how about this? What if we tabled this for tonight and have staff contact SDAO and find out what is their read on this? What is their suggested best practice for any separation time before, and just see what else is going on out there, and if our legislative group has a thought process.
I can speak from a little bit of experience on this. At my former employer, we went through this very same thing, and that was right now, there is no prohibition from a volunteer firefighter also serving the board member unless the board has a policy in place. So I spent time, because that issue came up with my former employer, and I researched the law very thoroughly. And there is no OAR, there's no ORS or anything like that stating there has to be a separation time. It is entirely up to this body here to make that determination of what they want. I can tell you that with.
No, I do believe that. That's why I said best practice, right? Because they may have a thought process behind why it is advantageous or not.
I can reach out to Monica Schultz, as our SDA Human Resources person. Yes,
Just suggestion.
no.
With
I
that,
think it's a good idea.
yeah, I do too. And with that said, I am in keeping with what Don said. Bring it down from what we can find.
Very open to that.
Yeah.
I just want to, don't tear down fences until you know why they were built. And another district that I worked for had the same kind of prohibition. Wasn't 5 years, but
I know another district that's closer to Mount Hood that has a very similar situation. Back in.
right. Yeah, and of course, you only know the horror stories. So, yeah. Okay, so are we agreed then that we'll table that topic and we'll bring it up at the next meeting? Is that? Okay. Curtis LLC SCBA purchase approval.
Did you include the quotation in our books? Okay, so, and I just had Lieutenant Leverton print me out a new one. So, basically, our grant was for, it was $242,153, like that, right. And, when we went to get our actual quote for exactly what we wanted, we took off one item. One's called a RIT pack, and we spec'd out the original quote with 3 RIT packs, and we decided we'd get by with 2. So that freed up a little bit of money between what the original quote or this quote that we got without that RIT pack and what the actual money that were offered by the federal government was. And with that in mind, I said to myself, was there anything else we might be able to tack on to this? And might be the key word is when we got our loaner SCBA's, we asked them to send what's called a piece of fit testing equipment, which is a thing that we put on our mask and make sure they seal. That's required by OSHA and things like that. In fact, it's in that black box right there. And it is a really slick piece of material. piece of equipment. And we are required to anybody new and annually to test these people. Well, quite honestly, we don't have this piece of equipment and, they probably weren't being done on an annual basis anyway. Because I think it was a $600 rental fee on those things every time we wanted that for 2 weeks. Well, 1 week, was it 1 week? 1 week, $600. So I came up with the idea and I contacted Ellen Curtis. I said, now that we've taken out this RIP pack and freed up a little bit of money, how much could we get one of these units put on to the quote as well? And so the original quote that I got was for $226,876, $226,876.44. And putting on that piece of equipment, that takes up to $238,178.77. $11,000 roughly right there, for us to own our own piece of equipment. There might be a problem with the grant because we did not specifically request it in our application to the government. There's nobody answering the phone at the federal government for us to be able to do that. So I talked to Ellen Curtis. I said, how about we just try? If they don't approve that, don't ship it. And they won't charge us. And they said they're very happy with that. So what I'm looking for the board to do is to give me permission to tomorrow sign a contract with Ellen Curtis in the amount of $238,178.77 for this SCBA with the addition of the fit testing equipment.
What is the testing equipment? What is it exactly?
Want to see it?
I do.
So, these are the masks that we wear. There's different sizes. Everybody has to be, protected. And this piece of equipment right here, it's called a QuantiFit 2.
So this is what I did down at the shipyard for 2 years.
You use this machine?
Not that
Okay.
exact machine, but I did the fit testing.
So the machines that we've had in the past, these all hoses hook in, they hook into the mask and things. The ones that we've had in the past take 5 minutes or something like that. And you have to jog in place and do this. This one takes about 90 seconds and takes very little effort and work, records everything electronically in there. So you can then put a USB in there and download it and keep it. We can keep annual records on a hard drive and things like that. I don't know how much the lesser piece of equipment costs, but we need the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were very impressed with the machine. We'd never seen it before. It showed up there, very user friendly. Lieutenant Leverton was in charge of
I
getting
think
everybody trained up on
the
it.
machines we used down at the shipyard were like about 1,500.
Oh, that's quite a bit different.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we may not, they may not approve this. If they wouldn't approve this, they probably wouldn't approve a $1,500 one because it wasn't on the original grant. We're just gonna try and see if they understand the need. I'm sure anybody that knows. the
It's in
fire-
keeping with SCBA though.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's not like you're, and then asking for a saw.
Yeah,
Right.
and we've deleted a piece of
Right.
equipment, in place of this.
It'll probably go.
Yeah.
Does this piece of equipment have any like service contract as far as has to be recertified every so often? Do you?
Couldn't tell you, but I'm sure they all do.
Yeah.
My guess is
Most
they're
of
required to
them
be lab, tested.
Right.
And so, yeah, and that's one thing is our SCBA is required to be flow tested and things like that. So when they come out to do those, then we would probably have to do the same thing on this machine.
I don't think the ones we had down at the shipyard did. I think they just had to go into service every so often.
If we wind up owning that, is there opportunity, what do our neighboring agencies use? And do they have their own equipment or are they renting as well?
I know MITS does not have one. They do the same thing we've done in the past. That's contact, Curtis or see what
And rent.
and rent one. I'm not sure what other agencies do. But I think in the spirit of cooperation and good neighbor service that I'd be happy to loan that out, with some sort of written agreement. You break it, you bought it, kind of thing, and loan out. That's good. That's helping our neighbors. They help us out, we help them out.
Agreed.
We'll just do a testing fair here.
I know, that's a same thought.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I guess the biggest thing is I just need board permission to sign, a contract for $238,178.77.
So do I have a motion?
I'll move that we allow the chief to sign that contract with all the extenuating.
Before you finish, let me remind you, we are responsible for 5% of that cost.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Do I have a second?
I said,
James?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Dawn?
I'm,
Amy? Dan? Carries.
Once we know the 5%, come back to you guys with a resolution to move that money from the reserve fund.
Yes.
Okay.
Resolution for registered agent.
Yes.
It's that time of year again.
Yeah, this was actually identified by our auditor. We found this in our state, Secretary of State records that, Dean Smith is still registered as our record agent for the, fire district.
Yeah.
So that needs to be corrected. They needed a resolution to do that. I will become the registered agent. You are, Charlotte will give, if you disapproved, Charlotte will give you a piece of paper that you have to go on and sign as the board president, get it notarized, and then we'll turn that into the state.
Okay. Motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-6.
And a second. James?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Dawn?
I,
Amy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous.
This is the one.
We go back to the whole issue of I'm not here during any business hours.
You have somebody in Charlotte that can do it?
Yeah, actually, I think I have a registrar inside. Yeah, so. All right, donation of tactical gear.
This tactical gear,
It continues to haunt me.
it does, and it's continually haunting me. Let's just do a little bit of history on this. This gear was obtained by a previous fire chief. It was completely donated money, not a single dollar taxpayer money is used in the purchase of this tactical gear. I have tried desperately to offload this tactical gear. And I even drove all the way down to Tillamook County because I had a couple of people down there interested, and when it came time to do it, they all backed out. I tried to negotiate some sales to the city of Vernonia, work some deals. They did not come through with us. It is sitting, unused, perfectly good equipment, much that's never been worn. We don't have a place, A, to store it effectively, and B, I don't want to see this a situation where we're suddenly into this tactical world where we're not able to do what we need to do. So I thought about this, and I haven't talked to a lot of people about this. I did have a brief discussion with the city of Vernonia. I just would like to just donate this to the city of Vernonia's police department so they have all this high quality tactical gear. This is level 3 body armor threat protection. They don't have right now, which protect them against rifle fire, ballistic helmets, things like that. I would just like to give it to them. I made the very clear distinction that if you guys take it, we want you to have it. If we ever get to a situation again where we have personnel, we have the time, we could do some joint training together. It is available to us back if we needed it. But mostly I said, just give us some credit, some public credit for us. I just want to get rid of it.
Be done with it.
I want to be done with it. And at least the police chief was very, very excited about the possibility. So, with the board's permission, I'd like to donate the tactical gear to the city of Vernonia.
Any question or comment?
I will move that we allow our chief to make the donation of that tactical gear to the city of Vernonia Police Department.
I will second it.
James, Steve,
Aye.
Dawn,
Aye.
Amy.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
We'd be able to sleep tonight now?
You know what, if I really, I could sell it piece by piece
Yeah.
by piece, but it would take me forever and shipping it, just, I don't want to do it. If it was taxpayer money, that'd be a different thing. It's not
Absolutely.
taxpayer money.
It has a double benefit.
Well, it still services this community.
It does, it does,
Services
the big
the
thing, stay with me.
Yeah,
The
stay-
community that it was intended for is making use of it.
That's right. They'll have a good, for what's that, that'll help when we spring and leave.
Let's hope.
I should point that out. We had one of the officers in here earlier, we were having this great discussion. I'm not sure if you're aware of, but you guys know, I've been part of this county for almost 30 years now. And I've spent a lot of time up here, different uniform, doing a completely different function. And I know this department, this agency, and the city police department at one time was oil and water. It was not a good relationship whatsoever. And unequivocally, I can see right now, our relationship is fantastic.
It's changed.
We have an awesome relationship with our police department. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but they go on all of our medical calls. If they hear a call, they come, they help. They, whether it just be holding a kid, holding a gurney, or standing outside talking with a family member, we welcome them, we appreciate them. And our relationship with police is the best I've seen in any county agency on anybody else. So,
Audience participation.
I don't know what I mean.
I'm not out there anymore.
I will say one thing about the cooling off period to become a board member. 5 years may be a little rough, but I think you need to have at least
Some air gap.
some air gap. And I was thinking one election cycle, so 2 years.
Just the thing.
Because I was here when they did that and I didn't understand why. So
Noted.
It's a nice looking garage you got there, James.
like that.
Took you long enough.
I also want to call out, there, because just 3 weeks ago, we called him up with a child locked in a car. And I called him up and he was at home and I said, here's my situation. He says, I'll be right there. And he came down with a young autistic child in the car. And he came down and locked the car just like that. Very much appreciated.
Romantic.
I told you I'd teach you guys how to do it. I missed my calling. I should have been a car thief, so.
All right. Items not on the agenda of the public, staff participation, anything? Agenda suggestion for future meetings, anything, anybody have any? It's easy tonight. All right, anything for the good of the order?
Something to say? Oh, I did, yeah, so I will have to wait. My normal volunteer resignation, she's on a call, so I can't do it, so we will wait next month for me to
Okay,
call out one of our volunteers.
very good.
I do want to say, so upcoming, starting November 20th, the barrels are going to be put out for Toy Enjoy and applications will open. And then we have the pancake breakfast of the Saturday of the Spirit of Christmas. I believe it's the 13th of December. That will be planned again by the associations. And that information will be shared in the article as well.
Is Bailey doing Toy Enjoy again?
Yes.
Okay.
You still good at the order?
Yeah,
I would just say that it's been really good to see you guys participating in more community activities. Chief's been in a number of the churches, handing out little stickers to little kids and just getting to know people and identifying himself to the public, who he is. Well, oh, you're the fire chief? I've heard that response a few times and it's good because you see people getting familiarized, and as we as a district board are going to go out for a levy, the more you guys are seeing in the community and making good efforts. That thank you card earlier was, both of those are really good. Those are indicators that people appreciate what's going on. And that's a big help to us when it comes time to ask for the dollar bills. So keep up the good work.
I absolutely agree, and lieutenants in this room know that they've more or less been instructed to, any chance they can, to get out. Get out in the community, walk around, be a part of it. You're not, even if the weather's gonna change, you're still gonna see us out there doing things and walking through buildings and saying hi to people. It's, we're gonna continue to do.
All right. And if there's nothing else, we'll take a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I want to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second it.
Thanks.
Aye.
Yeah. Steve?
So now I'll stay here.
Dawn?
Aye.
Amy? Motion carries. Next meeting will be Tuesday, December 9 at 7 PM.
That's entirely too little lawyer talk.